Testing, testing. Alright, today is how I made roughly $1,900 today trading. First dub on the year. Let's get straight into it. I got class. I gotta leave for class in about 20 minutes, but thought I'd do this recap before I leave. Let's get into it. PPI news data today. Yesterday was CPI. Took no trades. Had a possible entry, but never got my entry. Potential trade, never got my entry though. Let's go over today. I wrote it on my notes. Today was all about patience, because we had several setups that could have formed or that did form, but I never got an entry, and it was hard just seeing it go in the direction I knew most likely it wanted to go, and not getting entry. But eventually I did get the entry, and we'll just go over my entry and what I took. Took this on ES just because we were about the same distance from the draw and liquidity. Actually, before I even get in the trade, I want to talk about the bias. So the bias coming in today was bearish because looking at the 4-hour, we did not quite invalidate this fair value gap right here, but on NQ we did, and we were pretty close, and we could have easily closed below, which we eventually did on the 4-hour. Closed below this bullish fair value gap. I was just looking at price. What was getting respected? What was getting disrespected? I'm really loving the way I'm like looking at the market now, and just that, because that's how you're supposed to look at it, and it just makes logical sense to me as well, which is the main thing, and one of the key things you need to implement. You need to look at certain stuff and use certain confluences because they make sense to you, and a lot of traders tell you that, will tell you that, and I get it. I get it. But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, we have this big gap that we made yesterday morning with CPI and just overall market pumping in the morning and the market open, and so we just completely invalidated it. I mean, we're trending towards it. Like I said, I don't know why I'm looking at ES. Look at NQ. Like, we invalidated. We didn't quite do it. Hence why we didn't do it on the 4-hour as well. This is part of the 4-hour big fair value gap. But we did on NQ right here. And just look. I mean, we have this hourly gap. What are we doing? Are we respecting it or what? We're tapping into and then getting a reaction out of it, seeing displacement. And then that's what I saw during the pre-market, and that's why I was bearish for the day. But I was just being reactive to price. That's what you got to do. Just, you can have one bias, but you just have to react and see what's getting respected and disrespected. What are we seeing reactions out of? Like, where are we drawing towards? Obviously, the draw on liquidity. Things like that. And so market open, we're pumping. If we wanted to, well, this is kind of like yesterday too, but because we were so close to hitting news data highs and we didn't, and a lot of people got stopped out at break even because it didn't hit those highs. But it was like today. If we wanted to take out these highs, then we would have. Even if we did, it would still be the same bias for me. I mean, but since we didn't hit these highs, it's like clear cut that we're most likely want to be bearish. Like, if we were gonna hit those highs, why didn't we hit them? Why didn't we actually push higher? Like we weren't even bullish enough to take those highs out. So that to me made sense, and like being bearish, giving me more confirmation being bearish. I was thinking yesterday if I should still wait for the macro. Part of me wants to wait for the macro just so I don't get caught up in the choppiness or like just manipulation phase when the market first opens up. But I don't know. There's been setups recently before the macro that I've missed on, including today. So I'm gonna just get straight into it. To the trades I took first. So after being very bearish, I wanted to see we had these clear draws on liquidity that we still was able to target. So after making this push up, I was like seeing a potential long entry, but we disrespected this bullish gap, and we came into this 5-minute gap, saw a clear displacement out of it, saw a clear reaction. At this point, I'm waiting for the retrace. Oh, we got the retrace into the 5-minute gap. Perfect. And then I'm waiting for a break of structure. Originally, I was looking at NQ because we didn't make a low around here on the S&P. We did right here. This is the low I'm looking for it to break structure. Unfortunately, this displacement caused us to not have a good RR than I would have wanted, but it is what it is. It's just huge displacement. I could have managed do like that, but price could have easily went up to this and stopped me out. But I was fine with the 1-to-1 right here. During this time, I wasn't even planning on really entering because I was like, damn, bro, I really want my entry up here ish, right here, but all the way down here. But it's a 1-to-1, and also price, you got to think the market price was just staying at this price, and I guess it was just waiting for me to enter. And I'm thankful, because if it would have kept dumping, I would have never got the entry, never got the trade, and it just would have been unfortunate. So let me just go over the previous let me go over the first hour of the session after I just explained my trade. So I saw this, right? This is clean. I thought, honestly, because we swept this liquidity and then made this inverse, I thought it was just going to take that high out and continue lower, but I guess it didn't. So I don't know why it looks like this, but the alphas, we made this fair value gap right there, market open. No, it's right here. Made this fair value gap, and yeah, this could have been a good entry. Break structure. You didn't really even need to wait for a break of structure, but right there, entry. Boom, target these draws right here. My draws on liquidity were based on just these stack lows, I believe. These stack lows right here. Right here and right here, they're just all stacked together. And all the way, my TP for my trade was based on this low that was nested into a bullish fair value gap, so I like that. But an actual potential entry could have been this. But this is still the thing. I was waiting for equilibrium. I don't want to get carried away, but I'm just trying to go over everything that I can remember from the session. I was waiting for equilibrium. I know that equilibrium or 5-minute gap to get filled. See, we never got that. I think we came close. I was looking for a retracement and then us breaking structure so we can break structure back to the downside. Look for an entry to these lows. Never got that, unfortunately. And then we swept liquidity, and we had a potential long entry because we swept liquidity. It's not like I changed my strategy. I still look for liquidity sweeps. But if we're in an obvious trend, I'm going to still be looking for those same confluences. So what I mean by, I used to just wait for a liquidity sweep, 5-minute confirmation, and 5-minute continuation, and 1-minute confirmation. That is exactly what I did today, but I just didn't have a liquidity sweep, and that's okay because I didn't need a liquidity sweep. I always restricting myself. I felt like I was holding myself back just because I needed a liquidity sweep. You don't need one, in my opinion, and it makes sense. And I feel it's just all overall smart, logical, and it just makes sense. That's the main thing. That's the best thing you can do as a trader. Just see what works for you and learn from all your mistakes and just learn in general, looking at the market and all that. I really want to keep all my videos under 10 minutes from now on, but it might seem like I go over it this time. But yeah, we never got it. What was the last thing I said? Oh yeah, the liquidity sweep happened, and then I almost had a long entry. I was literally waiting for like some sort of, I think I got a pullback. Yeah, we got a pullback into this fair value gap that we ended up invalidating, but we got that fill, and after that I was looking for some sort of break of structure, and we all or IVG on the 1 minute. We got fair value gap right here. We made some highs. This could have been a break of structure. Entry right here to target some buy side up there. So thankful I didn't get an entry for longs, because I mean coming into the day I wanted shorts. I wanted to be bearish, and I'm glad and grateful I caught this nice low, the scalp to these lows. Just a 1-to-1 on both accounts. 545 times 3, about 1,500, and then I made about 300. Can you even see that? No. 311 on this, risking obviously probably 300. So that's it. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Looks good, and then Friday looks good. So that's it for me. First winning trade of the year. Many more to come. Just gotta stay disciplined, humble, focused, consistent, and what was the other thing I was trying to say? I said it in my notes. Disciplined, patient, consistent. I guess I already said all those things. So, yeah. God bless.